Oh, it is? Okay, sick. Now, here's the part that makes that genius. Arthas is a really cool dude in the campaign. When he's level 1 and you're in that area and he goes to attack an enemy, he goes from like, for honor, for my father, the king. You know, what does he say? Foul knave, you are past redemption. So you immediately, oh, he's a paladin. And he does care about his people because he chose to start with the Holy Light spell. Oh shit, so he lets other people do the fighting, but he's like the key player behind the fighting, right? He's like a supportive leader, right? And he really cares about his people. And the second combat is joined, he is a bloodthirsty monster who wants to fucking kill you. 100%. Think of what he says, you are past redemption, right? That little bit of writing, being a paladin, having Holy Light, saying you are past redemption when he fucking hits something, better writing than the entirety of the Stormgate campaign. Get absolutely right. Alright, so, also the missions are short and it costs $10 to have them when it doesn't need to have that cost because, you know, you could just, like, play a free RTS. Anyways, moving merrily along, co-op. We already said co-op is a joke. Commanders cost twice as much as they do. The user interface, the user interface to explain that you actually get free co-op on all commanders until level 5 is terrible. Here's another thing that's terrible about co-op that the 1v1 people won't tell you because most of them haven't played as much as I have. The level scaling from 1 to 5 seems to follow its own trend and it gets very hard to go from levels 4 to 5. Guess what happens as soon as you hit level 6? When you're level 6, that means you've bought the co-op commander. Do you know what that means? We're gonna speed you through the level progression. It's gonna be really hard for you to get from 1 to 5 because you might be a free player. We want to extend your the warranty on this free gameplay. We want you to feel like you're getting a good value out of it. But as soon as we know you're level 6, oh buddy, we're gonna speed the XP production so you can get back through the entire way. Really sorry for wasting your time. So you get this really choppy co-op grinding experience where it's like, oh god, up a cliff of fucking, oh, actually it's fun. What? So you make it hard for the free players and then dumpster the paid players. How is this game gonna make money? Oh, just campaign and co-op, by the way. Fucking brilliant. I already said it's impossible to see what's going on when the attack waves get big enough. The balance, by the way, is trash. The balance is fucking appalling for co-op. Let me explain why. When you have a level 11 Amara, she solos multiple things on Annihilation. When you have a level 11 Blockade, he's a pretty good tank. When you have a level 1 Malik, the Effigy ability for the top bar ability literally tanks everything because it's got 500 health and, again, I've helped make editors, I've helped make this shit, so I knew what I was looking for. The AI prioritizes buildings, but if it sees units, it prioritizes units over the buildings. Do you know why it prioritizes Blockade's turret and the effigy from Malik?
My deck is so cancer.
Because those buildings are treated as units, so they get priority. So Malik, the AoE Infernal co-op commander, can completely diff everything because he just has a 500 hit point. Hey, how's it going, Pekka? How's it going?
Oh, you're having fun.
So Malik gets a 500. He gets like
my deck is busted, like bro.
A 500 health.
I win every day, by the way.
The effective AoE taunt the entire army.
I just don't play more than
so that your
6-7 games, but I'm always going up.
Which is better defenses than Blockade.
My
literally
deck is
ever
fucking
gets.
nasty, dude.
So fucking nailed it on that one. You did a fantastic job.
3 packs.
Oh, but what about Aralana?
Another one, nice. I can play one of these decks.
Remember how you were told 1v1 wasn't prioritized? Guys, it's not that 1v1 was prioritized. It's just that every single thing that's good about Celestials is only good about them in 1v1 and fucking terrible in co-op. It's all terrible. Oh, the Kree are really powerful. The tier 1.5 unit that rolls and destroys workers. There's no workers in co-op. What about the Argent? It does a really good job. It has huge damage. It does 16 damage. That's right. I fucking know the numbers. Doubt my fucking knowledge base. Oh, it does 16 damage. It does bonus against heavy whenever it's fully energized. How do I get more energy? Oh, you'd have to go back to your base. Have you seen how big the co-op maps are? Listen, don't ask about that. But I have a top bar ability. It's really good at killing creeps. Okay. That's sick. What's the impact of creeps on Brutal Plus? Oh, minimal compared to 1v1. Okay, that's sick. Yeah. Oh, Aralana. Yeah, definitely made for co-op. Definitely Celestial was made for that. What about AoE? Oh, actually, you just don't have big enough AoE and do enough damage to stop attack waves. I'm sorry. What about Sabers? Sabers are pretty good. I mean, they just got buffed in the recent patch. Well, actually, it's fantastic.
Shit, my bad.
Aralana in co-op doesn't get the Saber.
Why
Why would you want the Saber? That's a shit unit. We're going to give you the Cryo Tank, baby. We're going to turn your Siege Tank into a thing that does slows and gives 2 damage per shot. Yeah, guys, that's because we know what people want in a high level or any level of co-op. But Aralana's really stacked. You can revive your hero over and over. Okay, so let's see what Aralana is competing with, shall we? Malloc can AoE the entire thing and uses Effigy to break the entire mode into 15 pieces. Blockade can actually shield any of the objectives that he wants forever because his shield only costs 10. And also he gets an Exo that has a better Exo upgrade than he gets an Exo ability for pure Luminite instead of Therium, and his Lancer becomes a Crusader who does bonus damage, and then he gets access to a medtech. Now, let's talk about Blockade's medtech. Did you know that if Blockade gets the adept training for his medtech, and the medtechs use too much of that ability that gives plus 50 armor to your units or allied units and minus 50 armor to enemy units, it actually causes frame drop and then makes it impossible to finish the game because the game crashes. But we definitely care about co-op, guys. What about wars? Oh yeah, do you like the scaling on his scythe? It's fucking sick, isn't it? Good thing it's literally better than anything Aralana can do.
Sacrifice an online button.
Also, he's the one that was, had all the problems that everyone was begging for. Yeah. Cryo Tank doesn't do the goofy freeze to one shot. Yeah, exactly. No, they literally got it. How do you get investment funding from Riot Games / Tencent and you are making a Cryo Tank and you don't go like, have you seen Sejuani? That's a pretty fucking cool mechanic. Can we use that? No, of course not. That would require being honest about the fact that League of Legends is a well-designed game. Yeah, crazy. What about the objectives? Oh, don't worry, guys. Missions are and Amara. Yeah. You could just solo Annihilation. Why? Because she can do literally a triple jump, and she can make a clone of herself, go invisible, do spread AoE damage, and if she ever needs to do damage, she just presses X and holds it. Now, how do we actually manage to make co-op an engaging experience? I know, let's spawn waves based on a number of destructible bases that are left, instead of purely based on time or threat level. We could look at other excellent PvE games like
I could have sacked the food, but I was texting my friend.
Oh my gosh, with the Aquamarines, the blue orbs, right? Where that game mode is made so that the longer you're in there, the faster the attack waves spawn.
Looks like his deck is on like...
Oh, but wait, actually...
There's a lot of people who play this black deck where they make you just discard your cards,
the thing, and if you kill a tower,
fall behind and draw, and then win.
The number of structures
Liliana style, bro. I have 4 of her.
You know what's crazy about that? That means that if you have a early game hero, you
I have
get
4 of her in
infinite
real
advantage
life.
over having a more
I wonder if
supportive
she
hero,
actually
because
went
the
up
early
and
game co-op hero literally reduces the number of attack waves and makes it easier to take everything else on the map because everything scales down in difficulty as you destroy things as the map progresses, but it only scales up if you're already losing. What?
Here, bro,
So I hope you
start
like
enjoying
Tension.
your deck here. Just get it all in there,
the last
bro.
time I saw
Yeah, he's
Tension
one of
look
these
this bad was in
losers,
Dragon
bro.
Ball
This
Z.
is
That's a
annoying,
Tension, by the way. So
don't
yeah,
see
don't
very
worry guys, co-op definitely one of our main pillars, focused and prioritized. But it wasn't purely about that, it was also casual game mode. Alright, I'll fucking play your silly game. When's 3v3 coming? Well, don't you see, Atano? They actually came up with a roadmap, and the roadmap says that we're going to be coming out with 3v3 earlier this year, as opposed to eventually. So the primary reason, the primary marketing of this game was that it was a co-op, new player-friendly RTS. You were going to make concessions because you didn't want to be StarCraft 2. That's
Bro,
why
my deck is broken.
time to kill is what it is. By the way, you fucked that up too, because if you want low time to kill, don't add additive damage. For anyone who doesn't get what I mean by that. Okay, if you have...
I have mill,
and you want
permanent constant damage,
and your
free life gain, free shrine. I've done some draw. My deck is insane, bro.
To make it, but yeah, actually this unit does bonus damage. Do you know why the Dragoon feels different from the Stalker, right? engine and everything else and decades of game design experience and Brood War versus StarCraft 2, blah, 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 blah. Here's the real reason. The Dragoon does full damage and it starts doing less damage because there is a negative armor type in StarCraft Brood War. That means that fights go longer the more that you have their counters. The longer that you have a unit's counter in terms of having the unit type that takes less damage against it, the longer micro is allowed to happen because damage is lowered. Meanwhile, what about StarCraft 2? Additive. Yeah, low time to kill doesn't take, yeah, and long battles equals high to kill. Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. Well, what I'm saying is that you are making the time to kill lower. You are making it easier to kill people when you have an additive damage type, as opposed to when you have a negative damage type. The Dragoon is doing less damage when it hits Marines, but the Stalker is doing more damage when it hits Marauders. And the difference between those two is why the time to kill is one of the major reasons the time to kill feels the way that it does, right? Not that any of that matters or is balanced in co-op, by the way. Also, I'm not the target audience for this, but big problem with co-op for me. I fucking hate queuing into a game and being told that for reasons entirely unrelated to my skill, I instantly lose. So, you know that Turf War map? Yeah, I fucking hate queuing into that map as brutal and being told, well, you don't have a level 11 anything, so get fucked completely. You shouldn't have queued into it. I was literally playing with people. One of the people, you know that guy who made a post who was like, I've gotten 15 levels with every co-op commander. God bless that person. Like really, they needed a relief or something like that. I asked them like, oh, so he
can't attack because if he attacks, I have too much on the clock.
You know, I've been diamond in some or the equivalent in other RTS games. What can I do on Turf War if I have a low level character? Is there like some secret sauce? Is there some like juggling thing that I could do? And they just said, lol, no. Okay. Great game mode. I'm sure casuals would love to just be told you instantly get queued into a game mode that has a 1 in 6 chance of rolling a mission that you have no chance of beating irrespective of your skill. You really should have just gotten lucky and let the random number generator not hit that mission. Which is to say nothing of the fact that the missions are poorly designed because they all favor DPS and there's no such thing as a defensive, there's no such thing as either a defensive or a scouting or a sneak or anything like that. It's just a DPS race all the way down. Great game mode. Okay. Oh, and co-op, so co-op barely exists and is a foul imitation and double price imitation. Double price with a third of the heroes, or a quarter of the heroes. Of StarCraft 2, which I need remind you is also free. I don't even like co-op in StarCraft 2, because I had the same problem, just pick the highest difficulty and be a player who is ever diamond, and you're just perfectly fine, you're schmooving. But it still wasn't doing it for me, and I really gave it a try in Stormgate. I even bought Wars. Yeah, that's right. I fucking got all the content. And then let's talk about the editor. Oh, wait, we can't because the browser game made a decade ago has an editor.
He should be attacking now. Okay, he has the bodies for block.
Reaching the limit of the map space for the application in question.
I don't know if I'm going to win this one.
I'm pretty sure
I need to draw one of my artifacts and I'm not hitting
him. Are you ready for the most social RTS ever that doesn't have friends, private messaging, clans, main lobby chats, or custom lobby conversations? Or how about the one where it's built in UE5 with Snowplay, which is the proprietary engine, which doesn't exist yet, by the way. Yeah, it doesn't exist. Little Wargame has a better editor than them, and Little Wargame's editor is worse than fucking Star Edit from 1998. You know how I know? Because I made shit in Star Edit. You know how hard it was to make some of those RPG maps? Fucking insane. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been 2 hours and 43 minutes, but we're not done yet. We have the last fucking bit to go. We have the last fucking death knell to wish upon, or to give to people who have wished upon it themselves. This one, and then we'll end.
I always forget that not only do I get to return, but the sacks count for million. That's insane.
the game released and had
Sack 3 and Return a Creature
from the most invested community of gamers that I've
Sack 3
ever
food,
known outside of
mill 6 cards, return my creature.
Right.
Bro, my deck is cancer. At 18 cards, he's probably so pissed. I hate being milled. Like, you're literally running out of options. You're basically playing with whatever's here, and you keep getting on a clog, and your answers are going down. Like, how can you shield without rid of
and all the things I talked about that made the game free,
2, 3.
or made the game low quality.
I got. He has no more of these.
Guess what? You still had less. You had less when the game went free than you did when the game was $24.99. It's over.
I have an extra one.
It's not coming back.
Excellent.
The main keys to get it back in Steam are gone. It's been released and it's been cost reduced, and you can't get 20% below free.
He knows I'm holding him
no
too.
big
I
streamer
don't know
coming
what his
to
plan
save
is.
You've already had pick who you want,
Yes,
right?
get rid of this.
Do you want like strong players? We've already had like Nina SE2 and Winter Gaming and U Thermal and Grubby, and I'm pretty sure Hearthstone. And we have other pros that are playing as well.
I love my deck though. Like,
right?
even though he has
We've had
blockers,
the large tournaments.
I'm just
We've
winning
had
with mill.
thousands
I have like
of
3 win cons.
foreign destination vacation locations to hit hundreds of viewers. There's nothing left. It's over. The only way that this is possibly coming out is if only half the budget of the 40 proposed million has actually come out, and there's 20 million left and it's in the bank. But then you have to ask yourself a question that
This guy is probably
fucking
having
dead
no
on the
fun,
floor,
man.
which is, if that's the case and they have half of their war chest yet left, or even a quarter of the war chest left, and they just are doing this because they think it was close, why would they release the game this way? In all the puff piece articles where I saw people say, actually, you know, I saw Tim Horton and other people say the game is expected to have these mixed reviews. It's expected to be in this state. We expect that people don't understand what early access means for them, and us is different. If that was a real line of thinking,
No way
if that
you
was
can win
real
regular
critical
cards.
thought, if that was your actual belief, then
My deck is
why would
broken.
you release it? If you've got $10 million sitting inside of a bank account somewhere, why wouldn't you just sit, go home, make
You better
more,
start swinging, buddy.
spend 5 or 6
Nah, he dumped his hand.
and then
He
have
realizes
$4
it's done,
million
bro.
left in
He's
net
done this turn.
release. And so I think
He's gonna lose.
unless you think they're the most incompetent people you've ever met in your life, who have no business acumen and have no idea what a budget is, and have fundamentally fucked up the entire thing by misunderstanding.
Wait,
some
how come I
unreal
didn't get
explanation,
this?
They are not going to have money to hit 1.0 otherwise.
That already.
That's it. And they've only gained $1.5 million since release. Now, I will say, that sounds better than it is, because it's $1.5 million, but keep in
Don't
mind,
even have to attack
the
with
game
him,
wasn't
bro.
free to play
I'm just
for the
gonna
entire time.
mill him.
For the
He
first
has
week
no
of
cards
the game,
left.
from about August 3rd onward to the 10th, right? For the first week, you had to pay money or have someone give you a key to be able to be in, so that you could get the money to play the game. That was a huge amount of revenue. We had 5,000 people playing when there were $25 to get in, right? And who knows what they bought.
And he had extra cards in his
Free to
deck.
play.
This guy must
They
be
didn't
so
have the players
tilted. This
for
guy
it.
was playing like a
It's not
massive
having
deck,
people
bro. His deck had
buy
like
in at the rate necessary.
extra cards.
Even if
He
10%
was playing
of
a
people
more
in
than
the
60
game right
card
now
deck.
are
I don't
buying
know how many.
cosmetics, they're not getting
Bro,
enough money.
I
Getting
fucking
$1.5
designed some
million
nasty
from
shit,
release
bro.
isn't good enough, and the game is probably
I designed some fucking sicko shit, dude. It is some disgusting shit. I mean, it doesn't beat everything. There are some decks that are good against it, but that's good.
And they can limp towards it, but they have to have amazing content now out the door and amazing updates out the door. And what's the update schedule? We should have a new content update by the end of September. 6 to 8 weeks after release, after full release. That's the update cadence, is once every 2 months, once every 6 weeks. Where are the extra people going to come in? Is the new content update going to be so good that it's going to put this to 10,000 players, to 30,000 players, to 100,000 players, to 5,000 players? Another number
I
they
could put
haven't
2.
hit, by the way.
I should get more of these.
I don't think it is. I don't think there's enough left. Right?
Well, honestly, I like the 2-drop more. I'm a 4.
Put enough trust in these people that they wouldn't have released the game if they had enough money to get all the way through. Oh, sure, yeah, I haven't tried it. I'll give it a shot. Right? And the thing is that it's not a worthy successor of StarCraft 2. It's not a word. I saw someone say, well, I expected StarCraft 3, but really it's StarCraft like 1.5. You can get that shit out of your mouth as well. This isn't even StarCraft 0.5, guys. It is missing features that Little Wargame, as a browser game made by a single dude, has had for a decade. Nothing of it is good. The people who are the most invested are the 1v1 players. And what is the damned faint praise that they have to say? It's actually good if you play a lot of it. But yeah, they will in private, if not in public, acknowledge, especially if they're a more known individual, they will acknowledge all of the points that I have made about the pathfinding and about the APM requirements, about how creep camps feel a bit wonky, and about how the balance is a bit of a concern, and the whole thing feels extremely derivative. And the problem with all of this, too, is that I just don't think that they're going to make it, guys. I don't see how they're going to get the players back, even if they literally double the amount of content in the game and have a huge moment of explosion. How are they going to get, what vessels do they have to get more people back in? All of the legacy RTS people, Warcraft 2, some of the Age of Empires 2 and 4 people, and the Warcraft 3 people have come.
I don't need to remove your board then. Rather tempo.
The numbers have been going down on Twitch, and they've been going down on the game. Like, it's not happening, right? I want to believe that it would. I started this thing, if you go back in the VOD, about 3 hours ago, explaining that I played like 450 ranked games, and I helped the tournament cycle. I did all of these things to help make the game better for players. I took time off of work to go play the game and study it and look it up, and I watched all of the content live, and I went back and analyzed it, and I made content and deliverables for other people that they've enjoyed, and I've talked to a bunch of people. It's just not happening.
Hexproof.
And that's where I actually want to end on this note, right? And this is probably the most somber note, because I just said it's not happening. I think it's going to die. I don't think it's going to make it to 1.0 release. I think it's just dead in the water. It's treading, but the waves are coming in, and the moon is rising, right? The tide is vicious. And also, by the way, the nail in the coffin, you're going to be fighting off against Age of Mythology Retold. Not Age of Mythology Remastered, which would have all these legacy RTS problems, but Age of Mythology Retold, which is a known...
My deck is so good!
...remade to have a very compelling difference that doesn't necessarily over-reward the more experienced and legacy people, right? Sins of a Solar Empire 2 had fucking 13k people. It's not an RTS. Well, this isn't what the market wants. You can say both. So this is the note I want to end on.
Who did he
Everything that I have said. Now, I don't want this to be misinterpreted, so I'll try and be precise. You should have compassion and understanding, from my perspective at least, of the people who were invested. What I mean is, the people who are in the Alpha Navigator Cups and the tanks, the people who are organizing the tournaments, the people, even the, from everyone that's, immediately springs to mind, like Artosis and Tasteless, all the way down, right? Everyone who's casted the game, watched the game, talked about the game, hyped the game, streamed it using their valuable free time and hours, tried to get extremely good at it, make guides for it, make news posts and YouTube channels for it, make supplementary websites like Luminite.gg and Stormgate World, right? All of these people put in a lot of free time and extra hours, and were not able to change the game because that's not their job, that's not in their wheelhouse. And I don't begrudge any of them that wanted this game to succeed and want this game to like really pop off and be the thing that they can stake their name to and they can put their claim to and they can make it in a content space or be rewarded for legacy skills that they haven't been rewarded for in about 5 years. There's a lot of doomerism right now about, will there even be a giant StarCraft 2 tournament like what happened at EWC, right? And I understand the will and desire of all those people, and I am not saying any of this to say, yeah, actually, fuck those people in particular. I don't want them to have money. I think they should be fucking broke. They should just not have any content. They should not have any fame. They should not make any money. And it's all cynical bullshit all the way down. Because I was part of those people. I didn't make it. I'm not as large a name as some of those people. But I obviously put in my time and effort and energy and money and freedom and willpower and a bunch of other things that took more than I thought because I wanted this game to be very successful. I wanted to come in and be like, well guys, it's just fucked, you know, because there's literally, I just checked the global rankings, and there's literally 1.2 million people better than me, and I'm just so fucking tired of playing against these tryhards that came from insert game I'd never heard of before, right? I want the problem that co-op people have for co-op is, yeah, co-op is the fucking best game ever, actually, and it's a fucking insane value proposition, but I can't stand the fact that there's only 5 of them. Why don't they have 10? Right? I want people to have an editor where they can just bring in the craziest shit like Little Warlocks and Footman Frenzy and fucking Dota, and make their own tower defenses and do a bunch of crazy shit, make their own campaigns, and, you know, do what Minecraft streamers have done for fucking decades now and be like, all right guys, I've made this cool new thing over here, let me show you some editor maps, tips and tricks, and here's what we're doing. I want there to be map creation contests, right? And people fucking putting in their own new campaigns and their own new factions and new races, and I want all these people to make it. I want this game to make it. Like, one of the reasons I don't criticize 1v1 that much, even though it does have pathing issues. And
we lost the
way it is created is directly against Stormgate, Flush Giant Studios' stated goal of.
I should have probably dropped the sack earlier.
RTS. The time to kill feels exactly like Little Wargame, right? That is my home game and has been for a decade, right? It feels cool to come in and have metagame knowledge about a game that didn't exist before everyone else, because I could say like, hey guys, did you know Atlas drops are good because they two-shot exos, and because the way the Luminite ore like stacks up, it's actually the same way that catapults work in Little Wargame. I would love to be able to say that. Part of why I got the early start that I did is I just used Little Wargame builds and then changed them up a little bit as I realized what the creep camps did, and then, only then when I started getting stuck, I started looking up what other people did, and oops, spoilers, that was after I was already top 500. But, yeah, don't be an asshole to any of the people who are trying to make this work, right, or who are getting paid, especially to make this work, because you don't want to be the person who's trying to take money out of people's like mouths. And I don't want any of this to be. I'm very animated and I feel the things that I said, but I don't want any of
this is a really shitty job.
Lose their jobs.
These are engine pieces. I need the
to make it as pros,
one of the 2 sack creating things. Wow, you have something to kill artifacts. I swear this game pairs you against things that are good versus your deck. Like, it purposely is trying to give you. I mean, no, we live in the world of math, so it's inevitable. They want you to have 50% win rates.
How dare you have hope?
But I notice whenever I'm winning, they start having cards that actually hurt my deck, whereas.
So don't take this as an opportunity to go shit on them, right? That's
a lot of people are running anti-artifact or enchantment.
Even though I'm not on
maybe more this season actually, because there's actually like a lot of decks that screwed up with
I was
those level
trying
ups.
to be on the same totem pole. So anything that you say about them, you're basically saying about me. So I also wanted it to work. It's just not going to happen. I would love to be wrong. I would love in 6 months to come back and say, actually, all the ways, let's go over a fucking 7-hour stream as I go over my 3-hour video from the stream and from YouTube and explain all of the things that were fucking terrible about my analysis. And I should have just intuited that it was going to be the best thing ever. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's got too many flaws, right? I don't think that I'm going to spend time
2 removals for 1 engine.
Why things are bad or what could be changed. I'm not going to be one of those doomer people who's like, hey, look at this, guys. You've actually dropped like 1.2% in the last 15 seconds about the fucking total player count.
Can I not draw a land though? Like, my deck has 22 lands.
Do the things that make you
happy.
5
in my hand.
Be all in on the things.
3 more, 8 of 22.
Practice and excel at and be good at.
More, 10 of 22.
But that also means
I have 22 lands. I have more than 50% of my lands in my opening 16 cards. That's crazy. So, oh my god, I just got
with that, this is my last
what did I say?
game.
11 of 22, 50% of my lands
it's like,
in
I
opening hand.
That's
That's
super apology
insane.
video. I don't see how it's going to work. And I'm not saying this from the perspective of go play Battle Aces or some other game like that. I even got an invite for that game, and I didn't play it because I was trying to make content for this game. That doesn't mean I hate Battle Aces either, right? As somebody once said, and I'll keep it vague for reasons, you know, I do want traditional RTSs to succeed. I just worry that for whatever reason, some combination of creativity, cultural zeitgeist, and market forces,
I don't want it to be
I think the best ones are behind us. Especially because a lot of people were putting their hats on maybe this one being the exception that proves it wrong. So yeah, that's all there is to say. If you guys got anything you want to throw in as comments, like to mention or react to, you can definitely do that.
Oh my god, this guy, he's removing my pieces. That's the worst feeling.
I think
all you're drawing is land and you're not
no
like getting any cards.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Well guys, it's 3 hours that was easy to make because there's a lot of complaints, but not fun to make, even if I was smiling and having a good time at parts of it. The Starfield of RTS games. There is a cope right now on the Reddit that it's the No Man's Sky of RTS games, the Cyberpunk 2077 of RTS games. And I don't think the people who are making that comparison are doing it in good faith because they know that they don't know the install base or the starting position of those games. They know they don't know it. And so to say that it's equivalent because it's starting with a 5K base is ridiculous, especially since it's not at 5K anymore. And I think the team would celebrate if they woke up tomorrow and saw 5K people playing actively. There's nothing else more to say. This video's going to be 3 hours long. And probably going to put it on YouTube, see what people have to say. Can't wait for my points to get wrecked and taken out of context. But I think the thing that I am hoping to wait out, but inevitably will happen.
What happened to the card I had?
6 months from now.
What?
Like
I triggered a piece.
And it'll just be a very quiet
huh?
A release into 1.0 to fulfill any contractual or legal obligations.
Oh, I shuffled. Fuck.
And then it's done. They'll close up shop very publicly. So, best of luck to the people who work at Frost Giant Studios who had any insight or attempt to stop this from being what it is. I will never know how you did that, and because of the way that companies work, I doubt that story will ever come out. But if you want to share it privately, I'd appreciate knowing it, because I do wish the best for you. And when I say privately, it's not something I'd ever share. So...
Can I not draw 50% of my lands in my opening deck? That'd be great, itself,
we need it.
More land! Woo!
Alright.
Wow, bro. I'm actually so tilted. The game literally made me lose the
Welcome back to the most professional StarCraft 2 with arguably the best hardware in the history of the game.
I hate when you make me lose, because you know the deck is good. It's so annoying. I know it's a mathematical loss. 50% of my lands in my opening hand. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
A best of 7 Terran versus Protoss showdown between Clem's impeccable micro and Hero's reckless and relentless aggression.
Bad luck. Online, I don't.
Hero,
it's math.
That's not your base.
It's design.
Heroes decided to casually slap down a second gate, so this is how we're going to start things off. Quickly and painfully.
Here's another mathematical loss it's gonna give me. I have pieces. Maybe fixed. If I drop this, he's gonna remove it, but I need him to remove it. I can't just remove 1/1. He's just gonna drop another haste creature. Well, he's gonna remove it. Most likely. Unless he has nothing. He has nothing. Wow, and he's an idiot. This is a terrible drop. This is colorless. What is he doing? How is he? Okay. I knew. I'll save it. I mean, maybe I get a mathematical win, actually. He looks like he has a bad draw. Can you seriously just block with that? This guy's terrible. I don't even know how he's dead. I don't know how the fuck he's diamond. I have no idea why he just did that. I guess he's gonna just recast it. We're gonna get 4 or 2 tokens, yeah. Pretty sure I'm fucked, man. He has removal, I lose. Nope. Wow, he loses by 1. He had a bad draw. Feel bad for him. Regard. Why didn't he attack? Every turn I draw a card. 5 wins. Not bad. 50 minutes. Free card. Free pack. Had fun getting to my, Do I want to play some D2? Oops. Not really. I think I'm just gonna turn the PS5 on and play Apex and stream there.